There's the first sulphur-crested cockatoo. And here's another one, only that one's got citizen beak and feather disease, the one in the foreground. Few pigeons. Another sulphur-crested cockatoo, that makes 3. So the one in the middle has citizen beak and feather disease in the early form, the chronic form of citizen beak and feather disease, and without help that birdie is likely to die probably next winter or the following winter, depending on what rate he loses his feathers and has the normal feathers replaced by abnormal ones, and depending on whether or not he succumbs to concurrent diseases such as psittacosis, or gets predated upon because he's not able to fly as well as the other cockatoos. Right, I'll move my arm. Hello cockies, there you are. Come on, hello. Hello. It's alright. It's all okay. We're here to help you. Beak and feather is the first one down this time. We're just zooming in on Mr. Beak and Feather. There can be 6 or 8 wild cockies with beak and feather coming down at one time. There's a healthy cockatoo beside him in contrast. You'll notice with the, or you may notice with the beak and feather disease cocky, that the feet are a darker shade of grey and the beak is a darker shade of grey, approaching black, and this is because of reduced powder, reduced quantities of powder being produced by the powder downs across the hips. So the bird on the right is the apparently healthy one, and the bird on the left is obviously affected by the early signs of chronic citizen beak and feather disease. These birds are given enough food to be totally consumed within about 5 minutes for the number of birds here, so that they're not made reliant on coming here. It's supplementary feeding, particularly during winter time, and it brings us great pleasure to relate to birds this way rather than have to look after them in cages with all the issues that that creates in terms of trying to address their needs for exercise, diet, companionship, sex, and much more. This way we can have them close to us. Some of these birds will come to hand, and if we need to go away, or when we go away, or if we're not here, it doesn't matter. They're not totally dependent on us for a source of food, yet they appreciate it, especially the beak and feather ones. I am currently hoping to continue my research outside the circle, outside the square, into citizen beak and feather disease and how we may help affected birds recover health and well-being by using an advanced quantum instrument, quantum frequency instrument. We've made a lot of progress, and we can now adjust the frequency of a bird like this one here so that it no longer registers the frequencies of any cytosine beacon feather disease, any cytosine beacon feather disease virus, any cytosine beacon feather disease virus proteins, and any cytosine beacon feather disease DNA. However, birds like this, there's a few discoveries yet to be made, because birds like this don't fully recover their health and well-being just by getting rid of the virus frequencies. Their health and well-being is improved significantly, in my opinion, but there are some other things to be discovered about how this virus, how the body responds to the beacon feather disease virus in terms of developing an autoimmune-like disease. So continuing research by me and those working with me will be looking at the immune response induced by the presence of cytosine beacon feather disease circovirus and or its components, and the cellular memory for that response, which is obviously inappropriate when the virus no longer exists in the body. It seems that the body continues to respond as if the cytosine beacon feather disease virus is still present long after it is gone, such that new feathers continue to grow in a deformed, malformed manner. So we hope that we will have good news for pet owners of birds affected by cytosine beacon feather disease in the foreseeable future. It's a little bit early to ring the bells just yet. I am hopeful. One of my life missions, having named and described this disease, one of my life missions is to help find the answer to restoring to full health this so-called incurable birds affected by this so-called incurable disease. Here's hoping. Thank you.